We're out in the shop again tonight. Work grind number 2 is getting ready to start of no sleep. The front bags were done. Everything worked good. Untested, we drove it an hour and a half to Peace and Grease's show and had a blast there. Had a lot of fun. Met some new people, some new friends, and got to meet some of you guys, which was a lot of fun. But the truck's only half done, and we still got to get the front on A-Ride. So it's supposed to be camping this weekend, so I have to have it done by Wednesday. So at least there's not as much fab work to do as there was on the back. But there's still some things I'm not happy with on the back. We're going to put some smooth deck plates on the back. That's the reason those are off. I don't like some of the way some of the welds come out on some of this. So I was kind of rushing it to a point. I mean, all the stuff that needed to be good was not rushed, but the top panels and stuff I could have spent more time on. But I just wanted it to be closed up and be somewhat presentable, but it's definitely not presentable enough to be sitting in Hot Shots booth here in a couple weeks. So got a lot of work to do so that it looks, tip-top shape for that. But we're gonna get the front wheels off this thing. I'm gonna try to actually video some stuff for you guys this time, opposed to just giving you updates every 2 days to let you see what's going on. But I've been running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night for probably 2.5 weeks. So we'll see where we get tonight, see if we can check some clearances and how we're gonna get these front bags and these A-arms. Corey Wheat sent me some pictures and talked to me about this weekend about how he did his. So we're going to try to copy that for now until I get my my custom arms from Michigan Metal Works. They should be here. They told me 6 to 12 weeks. I think we're on week 4. So still got a little time before we get them. And sorry I didn't get a video last week either. So this will just be an extra long one. And you'll see a lot of progress in this video. So we better get started. Wheels are off, step 1. So we gotta get that spring out of there. And so then I'm gonna take the shocks off and then probably just pull maybe the top ball joint out, and maybe that thing will sag down enough that it'll allow that spring to come out. And then we'll put the A-arm back, or put the ball joint back on the top and put the wheel back on it. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna lay this thing on the ground because I jack up under the bumper. I want the bumper on the ground, so I don't know. I may have to make a quick bracket or something that I bolt onto those big front bolts of the bumper so I can have a place to put the jack. I mean, on the back we'll use the Reese hitch, but obviously that's not going to work up here. So, well, I think it's all going to work out okay. I do have a little bit of concern about this piece up here that hangs a little bit lower than what the fender is, so we'll have to see if we have any clearance issues there. I mean, with the A-arms I have coming, we won't have that issue because we're going to be shoving all this out 3 inches. So I don't think I will, but we may have some clearance issues right now. Maybe that inner fender well is going to have to go. I don't know. Whatever has to happen, and we'll make it work. I got both sides tore apart, got the springs and shocks out of both sides, but I put it back together, yes, without anything in there. But I want to throw the wheel back on each side and let the truck down so we can see what kind of clearances we have under here and just see how everything's going to move. I'm probably going to end up taking that sway bar link out. I don't know, we'll wait and see, but thinking with bags, I don't know. Somebody probably called me an idiot for taking it out, so I'll probably do, I don't know. Anyways, but let's see what happens. Let's put some wheels back on this thing and see if we can figure out how to set this thing on the ground and see what kind of clearances we got. Doing some checking. We had to do some clearancing up here to make everything fit so the truck will drop down where I want it. But it sits on the bump stops. It sits there and down on those bump stops. And the bumper's still about, I don't know, 2 inches off the ground. It's probably okay for now until I get my other A-arms. I was really hoping to crush some rocks with that bumper, but maybe I gotta wait for my other A-arms. I mean, I could cut the bump stops out, but then, you know, we're going to run into more clearance issues with some of this stuff, and I really don't want to cut into any more of that. But once I get the +3s, we'll be set out in the fender more, and we won't have that problem anymore. So I think I'm just going to live with it where it is for now. It'll be low enough, and it looks pretty killer down there. So I'm going to throw the wheels back on and show you guys what it looks like slammed. And then I might call her quits for the night and get a fresh start tomorrow. But at least we know that we can get the truck down low enough. Now I got to figure out how to get a bag in there. I don't know. I've seen some picture of guys that done them, and it can be done. Maybe it's not the prettiest thing, but it can be done. Then I got to figure out how to put a shock in there. I don't know how that's going to happen either, but I guess that's the joy of fab work and figuring it out, right? So I guess we'll see what happens. Well, there it is. It's down as low as it's going to get for now. It's like maybe 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off the ground. But I'm kind of out of room in the fender wells, and we're against bump stops, which I think is a good safety point to stay at for now. Yeah, I'd like it to be that last little bit, and it will be eventually. We get them arms and get the wheel stuff back out a little more. It'll fit in the fender well better up where the higher point is there where my glasses are sitting. And when it gets out in that area, it'll lay that rest of that little bit down on the ground. So it will crush rocks with the front and back bumpers eventually, just not with these A-arms on it. So once we get those ones from Michigan Metal Works, it will. But I just wanted to lay it down so you guys could see it. It looks absolutely killer. I am so happy. That has been my dream of what I wanted this thing to do, is to lay down like that. So pretty humbling, pretty excited about it. So but I think that's going to be it for this evening for me. It's midnight. I probably better go inside. Got 2 more nights to have them bags in. I don't know. At the moment, I could still put all those springs and stuff back in and drive it. So as soon as I cross that boundary, it's kind of a slippery slope. Once it's done, once I've gone to that extreme, it has to get done. So, well, better go inside and call her quit. Well, it's crunch time once again. We only have tonight and tomorrow to get the bags in this thing and hooked up. So we better get to it. Got Ace out here helping. Ace, you gonna help? Maybe, probably not. Anyways, I'm gonna make a template that's gonna go over where that bottom spring perch was. And that's what the bag's gonna sit on. And I got this little guy that Corey Wheat showed me how to build that comes up into the spring pocket and a big old bolt. That bolt right there actually comes up through this top hole where the shock mount used to be. And that holds that whole perch up in there. So we're gonna try to build one ourselves and see if we can get this thing go up and down on airbags tonight. I hope so, because if I can't, then it ain't gonna be pulling the camper this weekend, because once you weld them plates in there and start, you know, changing things, you can't put the springs back in it. So, well, still daylight out for the minute, but we better get started and see if we can get it done tonight. Well, here's what we got. We got a plate in there. It's not welded yet, but it's sitting there ready to weld. This is the point of no return. As soon as I burn that plate in, it has to have airbags on it. So I guess it's time to crap or get off the pot. So I guess it's time to get the motor out. Plate welded in there, which it's looking fine. I think it's going to work good. So now I made these little guys, and these are going to sit on top of the bag just like that and bolt down inside, and the air fitting goes in there. And that just takes some of the space out that's inside of the spring pocket there, just so the bag, you know, it's obviously not as tall as the springs were. And we lost some distance because of where that plate is, because there was space below that we obviously got rid of. But it still needs this spacer to be able to, you know, get the bag to be fully compressed when the truck's aired out. So obviously all this is temporary. I mean, I'm doing a good job. I'm not going to cob it together, but you know, at the end of the day, this setup's only going to be on here as long as until I get my other A-arms. So, but Corey and I had talked that he actually cut this at a little bit of an angle because it sits up there in the spring pocket, kind of weird. See if I can lay down here and show you guys. But so as you can see, it's kind of got a little bit of an angle to it. So if we cut a little bit off that side, it'll, you know, be the level so the bag pushes the way it should, and it doesn't try to, you know, when it pushes up, it's pushing directly into the bag opposed to it, you know, trying to blow the bag out. So got to cut a little bit of an angle on this so that it will fit up there in that spring perch a little better. Well, we got one side in. It's proving to be a little more, not necessarily complicated, it just takes time. It's in and out with the bolts and airline, and it's just kind of a pain. But I've done it once, and I've already got some of the other side already cut out and ready, so I'm still going to try to get this thing to air up and down before I go to bed, even though it's already 12:30. So we better get going. Well, it's 1:30. We got the wheels back on, got all the bags in. Let's put some air to this thing and see if it'll go up. I don't know. My air compressor, when it goes to 125, just got a little cheap Harbor Freight one. The system on the truck will go to 175 or even 200 if I need it to. I think it's set at 175 right now. So was told that, you know, it probably is going to need 175 to, you know, at least get the front end up decent. Hope it doesn't take quite that much, but we're going to find out here in a second. So we'll put 125 to it and see if it lifts up. We did get a little bit of lift out of it, but it's definitely going to need more than 125 to get it up to ride height. But system ought to do it fine, so just have to wait till we get it hooked to the AccuAir to get it up where it should be. So, well, all we got left is ride control sensors and shocks. So if I can get those two things fabbed up tomorrow and get the whole system, and then I got to run the air lines from the AccuAir system up and also the wires, but it's all already under the truck, so shouldn't be too bad. Better call her quits and go in for them. Well, it's evening before we go camping, and been busy. I haven't filmed anything, I'm sorry. I got the air lines all hooked up, everything's hooked up back to the tank. I got my shocks mounted, made some little brackets, welded them off those tops, welded a bolt to the bottom of the control arm. Those work pretty good, pretty happy with that. Got both sides done, and the truck does air up and down. I'm sorry I didn't get that either with the AccuAir system. I had so much going on, I just had forgotten to film a whole lot. But this side's done over here too, to that same point with it's got the shock on it and stuff. So everything's suspension's back tight. I hooked my sway bar back up. I think it'll work too. Maybe I'm not supposed to run a sway bar with air, somebody tell me, but I think it's okay. I don't know. So I need to mount ride control sensors is all I have left. I saved that for last because I could drive the truck the way it is right now without the ride control sensors, but gonna take some time here and see if I can get them put on there so that this whole thing acts like it should this weekend. So let's try to get those on. Still have plenty of time. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. Still, we're done. Ride control sensors are mounted. Shocks are mounted. Bags are in. Wiring's tied up. Time to put the wheels on it. And I'm talking with Ernie from AccuAir. We're going to get this system set up. And I know it's late, but I'm going to go take it for a drive when I get done. So let's get the tires back on it and see what we got. Well, after some talking with Ernie and had to recalibrate the system twice, but everything works. Everything's the way it should be. And it's done for now. I do have those front A-arms coming for it still too, and that will allow it to sit all the way on the ground. It's off the ground a little bit still, but I ran out of room in the wheel wells just because of the tires that are stuffed in a little further than I want them to be at the moment. So with the +3s we're going to put on it, there's still gap further out in the fender well. So once we pull them tires out a little further with them other A-arms, it will set the front bumper on the ground at that point. And the steps will be a lot closer too. But, well, 4 weeks. Airbag the entire truck. Well, we're on UCC grind prep, so here's what we got to do. I'm gonna get rid of these back plates there and the plates up here as well. No more diamond plate on the back. We're going to smooth one piece plate up here, and obviously that'll be a piece by itself. And then we're gonna fill out these corners with weld and then round them over. We're gonna smooth all this out and round all of it over. We're gonna repaint these on both sides. Obviously we'll paint the deck plate. And then I'm gonna build a little box to elevate that AccuAir stuff up the tank. And then that little guy is gonna end up in the front of the box. And then we have, where's it at, right here. Has some 3/8 aluminum that we're gonna actually come out of each end of the tank here. And these are gonna bend to 90 and go down through, so it cleans them up so they're not all nasty running around the side. And obviously all the wiring will go directly down into that box too. So yeah, I got a little bit of work to do. I'm not saying that we're going to be, out here till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning every night this week. I hope not. But it's got to look as good as it can for sitting in Hot Shots booth here at UCC. So the only other thing I may do, Chad is going to come and do some pinstriping around all this and on the deck plates and stuff once they're done. But I'd like that to stand out a little bit more for UCC, so I may try to, accent brush paint that myself. I don't know. I'll probably screw it up, but at least something so you could see it a little better. I thought about using this expanded metal right here to put behind it just so it gave it some backing so you could see it, but I don't know that I really like that idea because I don't know how I'm going to attach it, and once Chad's pinstriping's on it, won't need that anyways. So, but yeah, we're going to fill all these in, grind them off smooth, get the deck plates done, get that done. Got some work to do. That's gonna do it for tonight's shenanigans. But this edge is all nice and smooth now, and so is this one and that one and that one and this front. So I'm gonna go back with a flap wheel and clean them up a little better and get some of the real deep gouges out. As you can see, this is what it looks like before. Got that nasty void in that. I just hated the way it looked and knew that I could do better than that and wanted it to look better. So just filling that void up and grinding it all smooth, and as you can see, well, maybe if it'll focus, it looks a lot better. But we'll get these deck plates tomorrow and get them mocked up, get that AccuAir stuff switched around, and hopefully that'll be it, and I can quit burning that midnight oil out here all the time. But I guess that's what it takes to get the projects done. So call it quits for tonight. We'll go at it again tomorrow. I did a few things without you guys. I'm sorry. But I had some flat deck plates bent up. Shout out Seth Gibson. Appreciate you. They fit pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's going to really clean up that back deck. And even this one too. Fits real tight up against the logos, and the wrap's clear around the back. And I think it finishes the truck off really nice. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Yes, I took the air system off for now. I'm going to make another box. I think I talked about that earlier, to mount it back and clean up all the lines and all that stuff. Like I think I told you about that too. I don't know, my days run together. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. anyways, yeah, so those are looking pretty good. I think I'm going to try to make some mounting tabs for both of these tonight. I need to round off some of these corners just so they don't look so bad. And I don't know, if I have motivation, we're going to try welding this side up tonight. I don't know. I guess sleep's so overrated, I guess. At least that's what I've been told. So well, it's crunch time. We've got one night left. It's Wednesday evening. It's about 7:30. And we have to attach the deck plates, finish welding up the notch on this side, build the little box. I got it started over there for the AccuAir stuff to sit on, the tank and all that. Then I got to paint it, and then hopefully in the morning reassemble everything. And got a friend coming. Maybe you guys follow his channel. Maybe not. I don't know. But if you don't, I'll introduce you guys when he gets here in a few, him and his wife. And they're going to go with us over to UCC this weekend. It ought to be a good time. Well, friends of mine made it here. This is Austin. This is his B model Mac. Give me 2 seconds, tell me about it.
It's a 58 B model Mac. It's sitting on a 08 F350 chassis. It's got a 7.3 Power Stroke with a ZF5 inside. The truck used to be a farmer's truck. He used to haul grain wagons and stuff with it. When I bought it, it was buried in the weeds. Pretty rough shape. I did a bunch of metal work to it, new floor, you name it on it. It's got a, obviously, 22.5 semi wheels, Pete oval wheels. I get a lot of crap for that because it's Pete wheels on a Mac, but I like the way they look. The bed's off of a square body Chevy. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. What you got on the inside? Well, a bunch of crap, but it's got some cool stuff inside too. He's got signs on the floor that are pretty neat. I know one of my favorite things about the truck. You want to tell them about your little story with this little gas can here?
Yeah, this gas can here is actually my filler neck. It's got a false bottom in it. I cut the whole bottom out, and the filler neck actually runs up into the can. And that's where you put fuel in the truck at. People wonder how I'm putting 30 gallons of fuel in a 2.5 gallon can sometimes. Usually catches people's eye.
Pretty cool truck. He's got covers over his filters. So yeah, he's running Jack and Coke and had some pinstriping and some lettering done on it by wasn't it Chad Bowling did that. Yep. So pretty cool truck. Gets a lot of attention as well. So got all the junk out of the cab so you can see the floor now. It's pretty sweet. But you got YouTube too, Austin?
Yeah, go ahead and follow me. It's AJP Customs on YouTube. Customs with a K. Gotta be cool.
That's right. And he builds like custom pistons, he carves and stuff too. So he doesn't just build trucks, he does all kinds of cool stuff. So go give Austin a follow. Well, it didn't film much more to get this finished up back here, but we got the back plates all done and painted. And we got all the AccuAir stuff done. All this is all smoothed out, looks all real good. Gotta give a shout out to Austin. He's over there somewhere, but he helped me last night. We were out there till 2 o'clock and got this crap done and got it all painted and got it on the truck so we can get it to UCC. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.